Thou still unravished bride of quietness, thou foster child of silence and slow time. Sylvan historian who canst thus express a flowery tale more sweetly than our rhyme. What leaf-fringed legend haunts about thy shape of deities or mortals, or of both? In temp or dales of Arcady, what men or gods are these? What maidens loth? What mad pursuit? What struggle to escape? What pipes and timbrels? What wild ecstasy? Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter. Therefore, ye soft pipes, play on, not to the sensual ear, but more endeared. Pipe to the spirit ditties of no tone. Fair youth, beneath the trees thou canst not leave thy song, nor ever can those trees be bare. Bold lover, never, never canst thou kiss. Though winning near the goal yet, do not grieve. She cannot fade, though thou hast not thy bliss. Forever wilt thou love, and she be fair. Ah, happy, happy boughs, thou canst shed your leaves, nor ever bid the spring adieu, and happy melodist unwearied, forever piping songs, forever new. More happy, happy love, more happy, happy love. Forever warm and still to be enjoyed, forever painting and forever young, all breathing human passion far above, that leaves a heart high sorrowful and cloyed, a burning forehead and a parched tongue. Who are these coming to the sacrifice? To what green altar, O mysterious priest? Lest thou that heifer lowing at the skies and all her silken flanks with garlands dress? What little town by river or seashore or mountain built with peaceful citadel is emptied of this folk with pious mourn? In little town thy streets forevermore will silent be, and not a soul to tell why thou art desolate, can e'er return. O Attic shape, fair attitude with bread, of marble men and maidens overwrought with forest branch and the trodden weed, thou silent form dost teach us out of thought, as doth eternity, cold pastoral. When old age shall this generation waste, thou shalt remain in midst of other woe, than ours a friend to man, to whom thou sayest, beauty is truth, truth beauty. That is all ye know on earth, and all ye need to know.
In the first stanza, the speaker begins to describe the urn. He describes it as the foster child of silence and slow time and a Sylvan historian. This comparison is meant to reveal that the urn has had many different owners all throughout history and time. This one holds the history of the Greek Empire in the contents of the urn itself and of the drawings on the outside. The phrase flowery tale illustrates the marvelous tone of the stanza and how John Keats, the speaker, is admiring the history of the sculpture. The last 5 lines of the stanza are a series of rhetorical questions. The speaker demonstrates interest and genuine curiosity, which he later develops throughout the rest of the poem. The second stanza begins with the description of the urn as a musical structure. The speaker says that the unheard melodies of the urn are sweeter, meaning that he is eager to hear the stories about the characters and the scenarios that are drawn on. He acknowledges that the lovers on the urn can never be together because they were drawn apart, but that they will always be passionate because they can't fade. In the third stanza, Keats admires the lovers on the urn for always being happy and passionate. He expresses a jubilant tone and is overjoyed at the idea circumventing the consequences of time. He also admires their lust for each other, but this illustrates possible irony. While the author believes being frozen in time is positive, he is also coming to the realization that the young people can never act on their love, rather just be still forever. In the fourth stanza, Keats begins to zoom out from his viewpoint on the lovers and wonders about the broader implications of the urn. The scene described with the people leaving their town further demonstrates his knowledge that time is frozen in the artwork. Then Keats asks why the town people left on this pious morn. Here, he is asking what they left behind as their legacy, not why they literally left. In the fifth and final stanza, Keats gets excited again. He describes the attic shake and fair attitude of the urn, which are its Grecian features. Again, he acknowledges the effects of time, or lack thereof, on the artwork. The last 2 lines, beauty is truth, truth beauty, that is all ye know on earth and all ye need to know, are a reflection of how he feels about the truth. He believes that the truth is too complex to be presented in words and believe that it must be felt the way that beauty is. Subject: urns do not age, and neither does their story. Therefore, everything presented on the urn is essentially frozen. The trees will never shed, all characters are frozen in time. They will never age, and their beauty will never die. Whatever tales they have not told will forever be left unsaid. Occasion: the poem takes place in the 1800s. This is the time Greek knowledge was becoming both utilized and idolized. The urn most likely symbolically holds the ashes of the Greek Empire, along with the history and culture. The speaker is likely viewing the urn in a museum or art setting. Audience: the speaker is monologuing his inner thoughts about the history contained in the urn. In a way, he is having a conversation with himself, therefore making him his own audience. Purpose: urns are one of the few things that are not privy to the whims of Father Time. Unlike people who grow old, age, and eventually die, this urn will live to tell its stories until the end of time. Speaker: John Keats is the speaker of the poem. Looking at the urn, he admires the stories and marvels the history being told. Identifying with the characters on the urn, he speaks to them as though they are still alive and cognizant enough to hear him speak. Tone: the tone of the poem remains exuberant throughout, although there is a sense of initial sorrow when addressing the young boy that can never kiss his lover. However, he admires the fact the woman will stay young forever. She will never age, her beauty will never fade. In the last two stanzas, the author begins to imagine the life of the people painted on the urn, withdrawing himself, beginning to picture their city. By the end of the poem, the tone is significantly less excited and much more cynical.